Your house is not messy, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I'm trying to like zoom in on my face.
So now we're live. So it was live right there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm just showing Brittany like how it works, and then I'm going to show them where it shows up in the stream. I don't know. Do you have any other tips you want to share with Joel, since you're the Google Plus expert now?
Well, will you tell me more about how you guys want to use it?
Yeah, so, I mean, hi.
This is Joel.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
You too.
So ultimately, we're meeting with Barbara Reynolds and OADC, KLD, etc. on Friday to present our rollout plan for the next iteration of the Tips from Former Smokers campaign.
Okay.
And as part of the rollout, we've got a media plan, which would include a media launch and and in the past we've done everything from in-person traditional broadcast press conferences to we've done a telebriefing before for tips, and we've done other things like we've done both satellite media tours, but also New York City media tours where we gallivanted around New York City with Dr. Frieden and did desk side tours with reporters in their offices. So we haven't done anything, and I think there's been some suggestions over the past couple of years to do something more innovative and including technology. I think Barbara wanted us maybe to do a Google Hangout a couple of years ago, or maybe a year ago, and we weren't quite there.
I don't think Google was there either. I think it's had a lot of hiccups. It's probably better now.
Yeah, I don't think our confidence was as high as it is now, and I think we had other ideas in mind already instead.
Right.
But I think one of the things that I personally feel more comfortable about in using a Hangout on air would be if we could make sure that the traditional media that we typically work with also have the availability of just the regular telebriefing call-in number and ability to interact over the phone like they usually do. And for those who are technologically more savvy and are aware of or even interested in learning more about a Hangout on air, they can participate in that way as well. So that's right. What I was looking for in confirmation from you all that,
right.
that we can do both.
I emailed our Google Plus contact, and he is getting back to me about that, about doing the traditional phone. He said it would take him a couple of days. So I'm still...
Brittany and Valerie, do you guys want to go through just how people would interact? So obviously this is how it'll show up and it'll look when we're doing the Hangout, but how will people interact? Do we want to, if we have some planted questions, we can obviously read those off, but real time, how are people going to be asking questions? Like, how are the reporters going to interact with our SMEs?
And I guess, sorry, just to interrupt, or to add, we would have to make sure that Barbara and everybody's comfortable and trained and ready to support this platform.
Right.
And so, we could volunteer, I guess, to train.
Well, I was going to ask Brittany, when y'all just did the polio one, it looked really polished and everything. Did the broadcast people, are they pretty Google Plus savvy now, or was that all you doing the stuff beforehand? Like, do we really need to have Barbara and everyone trained, or are they handled that they could, that they could do that?
Well, when we worked for the last one, for the polio one, we were in the studio, and that was the second one that they done. The other one was Dr. Frieden's men's health one, and so they were still trying to figure out or trying to get a hang of it, but I mean they did, and it looked really nice in the studio. I think that would be where we would do it. It looked really good. So, I mean, the broadcast people are really on board with it. We talked to them for a while because we were trying to do an Ebola one too, but we like kind of talked through everything. So I think they get it. So that's good.
Is the EIS when you're doing at the end of this month, is that in the studio as well?
I don't think we're going to be able to do it in the studio. We're going to have to figure out how to do it in the lab. I'm still trying to figure out how that one's going to work because it's a different format than anything we've done before.
Okay. And I'm going to come observe it.
I know. Have to make it look good.
And so I guess the other thing too, the way they had it set up yesterday in the studio, did they have it through the camera or was it through the computer?
So
like for tips.
Right. So the broadcast studio, they do not have capabilities to hook up their cameras through our computer. So that was our computer with our little webcam thing. They just did the lighting so well that it looked really professional.
I've done, I can't remember if we just used Skype or if it was a Hangout, but I had to give a lecture for a UGA class remotely in the studio, and they had a camera and stuff then to hook it. I mean, they had like someone, they were able to set up a laptop or a webcam.
Well, we can do multiple ones. I mean, we've done that before. I mean, you have to usually wear earphones and stuff if you have a bunch of people in the same room just to prevent the audio feedback. Yeah. If you're gonna, so like they have the capability. We can put in a ticket if we decide to do it through the studio and like have multiple people. But I just thought it'd be cool if there'd be a way to not have to do multiple computers and do one and have everybody on the same.
When is the rescheduled meeting?
Friday.
Okay, it's Friday. So maybe we could talk to.
I think. Yeah. I think that's right.
Broadcast services and just see.
Yeah, and the other thing is, in terms of the telebriefing, broadcast services usually, let me think. They have, for all of their news conferences, they know how to handle
the teleconference,
teleconference part of it, and so. We were to do this, I would think that they'd be able to easily incorporate.
Do both of them. Well, that's what we kind of need to get them on the phone and have a.
Yeah, through the studio. So you were going to ask somebody who's.
Well, we were just going to ask Google Plus, our Google Plus expert.
Yeah.
Did they have an example of using the traditional telephone with the Google Plus Hangout on Air that they can share with us, and because I know you can use the phone through it, but I don't know how many lines and
we can have.
Yeah.
So they weren't using the phone. How would they type? Like, can you guys just show an example?
Yeah, sure. So let me get back. Where's my IM? So Brittany, it would come up through, they could post questions here. Generally, what we did is social media team, somebody would be watching the stream, and then you can also have a hashtag associated with whatever chat it is, and you'd be watching Twitter as well. And so questions come that way, but like Maggie was saying, you'd probably want to have pre-seeded questions. I mean, the other thing people do is we can promote it. We're going to promote it heavily to the traditional media outlets, and you can ask ahead of time what their questions are. And so then hopefully questions will come in, and you can have some already developed responses. So you can do that, and then you can also have some during the thing.
Do you guys have the press release go out and then the telebriefing? You guys have the telebriefing and then the press release?
We usually send the press release out first under embargo.
Okay, because I was like, they're not going to be able to come up with their questions in advance if they don't have
anything.
But if they've got the press release.
And Brittany, have y'all used the new Q&A thing yet? The app?
Yeah, I was about to add that. So there's a new Q&A app. We haven't not used it before, but Jackie and I played around with it just to see how it works. So basically, it's already in the Hangout, and if people know how to get to it, Valerie, if you go to your left, you'll see a little icon that looks like a talk bubble, and it says Q&A. Do you see that?
Here, hold on.
It says the feature is disabled for me right now, but I think you need to enable it because we're the...
Yeah, the chat bubble. I think it's because. There we go. So this is the right here. Is this?
So
Hold on, I'm writing a question.
Okay, so anyone who is watching, you don't have to necessarily be a participant of it, because I'm assuming for this hangout that you guys are thinking of, are you going to be inviting the reporters to be in on the hangout, or are they just going to to be watching? Do you know?
They're going to be watching, right? Or you want them to be able to ask questions?
Seats, yeah, we don't have enough.
Right.
Or do we?
Yeah, no, so we need a way for them to interact.
Okay.
We need a way for them to ask questions and to interact, and it should probably be both over the phone and on the web.
Okay. Because the best way for them to ask questions is what? Through the Google Plus stream or through a hashtag, right, on Twitter?
Yes, but that's what the Q&A app is for too. Anyone watching can type in a question, and then you guys will be able to see it on the side of the screen, all of the questions.
Is that something that just we, the leaders, can see, or everyone in the public can see it?
So I think everyone can see it. Like I said, we haven't actually done it yet, but I think that everyone can see it, which is kind of...
We definitely need to figure that out, because I know Diane's going to wonder about that for e-sig people.
Oh, yeah. The e-sig people might be problematic.
Yep.
Right. I know that you can, if a question comes up, you can report it as spam, but I'm assuming that people will see that it was there and then see it disappear if you report it as spam.
We need to be able to,
censor,
we're going to need to be able to censor heavily, and we're going to need to be able to, I think it's a deal breaker if we can't, and it's also a deal breaker, I think, if we don't have an audio function through the phone or, well, through the phone.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or we'll have to do this in addition to the telebriefing like Diane wanted originally. Right? Which might be easier. I don't know.
Say that again? Do this in addition to the telebriefing? Yeah.
Yeah, for the traditionalists can have their phones, and then the people who want to be more,
Well, I mean, ultimately, I think that's where I'm landing to.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, just writing really fast.
No, you're fine.
Because I think without the ability for reporters to feel like they can be heard and actually ask their question the way that they most comfortably.
Right.
Yeah, we definitely need an easy way for them to ask questions.
Yeah.
I hope we can get it all in one package.
Yeah.
Right. It's not like double.
I think it'll be hard to prove to Diane the worth of this.
If we're doing that in addition.
Yeah, because then it's then you're gonna unless we can do the Google Hangout first and then do the telebriefing to hopefully get the reporters to this first. Because I feel like the Google Hangout isn't going to have as many people participating if we've already had the telebriefing.
Right, because it's old news.
Right.
But I mean, there's the whole aspect of seeing the people.
No,
versus
and
the audio.
And if we end up doing that, we'll just make we'll add some extra bells and whistles to Hangout, where we have a tips participant where you can ask questions directly to, or
Mm-hmm.
I think there are still ways to make the Hangout marketable, even if we're kind of doing double duty with the telebriefing and the Hangout. But it would be great if we could get a call-in number for the Hangout so that we could just wrap it all together.
Right.
I'm fine with either, but I definitely.
Well, I mean, we don't want to exclude.
Yeah.
Or upset media who can't get in or access it because
they will be. They'll be frustrated and.
Right.
And I do feel it would be tremendously impactful to have one of the ad participants there. So I'm hoping
that we can work that out.
Yeah. We'll be able to do that, and in particular,
Marlene.
I think Marlene. Yeah, we need to media train her. Really hard.
Yeah.
Because I think she has the tendency, and I don't know if you know anything about any of these people, Brittany, but Marlene is she's colorful and she's an open book. I mean, she will say anything and anytime, and not
So no
stop.
filter.
Very, very little filter. But everybody is trainable when it comes to that, I think.
Yeah.
We just need to spend a lot of time with her to get it right.
But do you guys have any other questions for her before I
Thank
let
you
her
so
go?
much. Thanks a lot. Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Brittany. I'm going to show them where we show up now. Thank
Okay.
you.